Pretty book talk boy Wade Wilson was finally handed down his sentence today, and it was not life in prison. Let's talk about it. 30-year-old Wilson from Fort Myers, Florida, was convicted of killing two Cape Coral women, Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz. 35-year-old Melton and 43-year-old Ruiz were murdered within hours of each other in October 2019. After Wilson's conviction, the jury recommended to the judge that he be given the death penalty instead of life in prison. And today, the judge agreed with that jury and sentenced Wilson to death for each of the murder counts. As his sentence was being read, claps could be heard in the audience, and Wilson didn't seem to show much outward emotion, but his huge gulps and heavy breathing were a little hard to miss. Prior to his sentencing, Wilson's adoptive parents had his attorney read aloud their plea to recommend to the judge to spare his life. They explained that Wilson was a joyful child that loved his parents, but something changed in him when he became a teenager, and stated that he became delusional when he began taking drugs. Along with the pleas from his parents, apparently several random women also wrote in to the judge asking him to spare Wilson's life. Murders occurred on October 6th and 7th of 2019. Wilson met the first victim, Christine Melton, at a bar, proceeded to go home with her, then strangled her in her home. The second victim, Diane Ruiz, he met just hours later. Ruiz was walking down the street when Wilson pulled up next to her in a stolen car, asked her for directions, and convinced her to get in his car. He then strangled her as well, threw her out of his vehicle, then ran over her 10 to 20 times. Also surprisingly in court today was Wilson's ex-girlfriend, Melissa Montanez, who testified at trial against him, stating that Wilson had attacked and assaulted her the same day that Melton's body was found. A neurologist had testified in court that he did not find any damage to Wilson's skull or his brain. Yet another neurologist testified that he disagreed with that finding and that he found evidence of cognitive and emotional dysfunction in Wilson along with a brain injury. He concluded that a combination of Wilson's brain injuries and the drugs that he was on at the time likely resulted in the murders.